What's up guys, HOTSHOTFRONTIER back at it again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to counteract the FIENDSMITH engine that's coming to the TCG. If you guys have no knowledge of this, definitely go ahead and check out this video because it's going to be insane for the TCG and it's going to be all over the meta. But if you're a veteran, definitely go ahead and check it out still because there might be something that you still need to learn about the engine. And if I missed anything, let me know down below in the comment section, of course. But guys, last thing before we start, make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you're updated the moment I upload new videos. All right, let's get started with this video. And also, guys, imagine how many times I'm going to say FIENDSMITH in this video. Now, going into this, we have how does FIENDSMITH work? This archetype is largely focused around its eponymous main deck monster, FIENDSMITH Engraver, and its multiple fusion monster upgrades. Said Engraver is capable of both searching the archetype's spell and trap cards. Mainly you're searching the spell card, Tractus, by discarding itself and reviving itself afterwards by shuffling a fellow light fiend monster into the deck / extra deck. And of course, with the engine, you are playing a light fiend monster target, so keep that in mind. Now by targeting a FIENDSMITH Link monster, treat it as an equip spell and a monster on the field, it can also send both to the graveyard as a form of removal. Very strong. Due to the deck's lack of summoning restrictions, the FIENDSMITH cards make a great engine for summoning rank 6 monsters without losing card advantage, like Beatrice or the DDD High King Wave Caesar, of course. So both of them are really strong targets for this engine. Going into the cards themselves, we have, of course, the Engraver. And Engraver is broken. You can send it, it's a 1-card starter. You send this card, you can add the Tractus, which we're going to go over very soon, to the hand and continue the combo. If it's on field, you can send a FIENDSMITH equip card you control and 1 monster on the field to the graveyard. Sending is very powerful. Plus, if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle 1 other light fiend monster from your graveyard into the deck / extra deck and special summon this card. Going into the other cards here, we have the Lacrimosa, a very good fusion monster for the deck. Now, you could, of course, when this is fusion summoned, you target a light fiend monster in your graveyard or banishment, either add it to your hand or special summon it. Monsters your opponent controls lose 600 attack on field. So while it's on field, they lose 600. That's pretty good, honestly, if you really think about it. It's definitely, you should not underestimate it. If this card is sent to the graveyard though, you can shuffle 1 other light fiend monster from your graveyard into the deck / extra deck and inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. That's insane late game, right? It has a lot of potential outside of the deck too. Going into the other fusion, this one you won't really see as much, but it's still a threat. Pretty much it can negate the effects of a number of face-up cards on the field till the end of this turn, up to the total of link rating of the link monsters equipped to this card as equip spells. And then it has the same sort of effect as the other one, but instead you can target a card on the field and send it to grave as well. Now going on to the Link 1, very important, the Requiem. This card, when it's the main phase, quick effect, you tribute this card. You can special summon a FIENDSMITH monster from your hand or deck. Also, you can target a non-link light fiend monster you control. Equip this card from your field or graveyard to that target as an equip spell that gives it 600 attack too. So you're boosting the, of course, attack potential for that monster. Now, Sequencia, another very important monster for the build. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fiend fusion monster. So, of course, the fusion monsters that we talked about before from your extra deck by shuffling materials mentioned on it from your graveyard into the deck. And it also has the same effect as Requiem, where you target a non-link light fiend monster you control. It becomes an equip spell, and it gains the effect that your opponent cannot target the equipped monster with card effects. So it's a really good Link 2 for the strategy. Now going on to the next one, this is the Tractus. This is what you're adding with the Engraver effect. And with this, you can add your 1 light fiend monster from your deck to your hand and then discard it. So a lot of people favor the Fabled Blurry because once you add that and you discard it, Blurry's effect brings it on field. And a requirement for the engine is that you have a monster on board as well for the continuing of the combo. So this card also has a good effect in grave. You can fusion summon 1 FIENDSMITH fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. Going on to our next one here, we have FIENDSMITH Sanctus. So this card isn't used as much, I want to say, but if you control no face-up monsters or all face-up monsters you control are light fiend monsters, you can special summon a FIENDSMITH token and It cannot declare attacks, of course, for the rest of the turn, except fiend monsters while you have this on field, or pretty much while you activate this card. If a face-up FIENDSMITH monster you control is destroyed by an opponent's card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card so you can pretty much have activation and use it for your next turn. Now, going on to our next one here, this is the last one. This is the trap card. It's a really strong trap card. FIENDSMITH in the Paradisum. This card, you target one level 7 or higher light fiend monster you control. Send all other cards on the field to the graveyard except that monster. If your opponent special summons a monster while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card, send one FIENDSMITH monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard to continue more combos on your turn. This is pretty broken. You, for the most part, won't use this, but it's a good option just to have, of course, just in case. But for the combo sequence, guys, really quick, the opening, again, you want any 2 effect monsters plus the 1 monster. You link summon Moon of the Closed Heaven. This card is pretty cool because this link 2 that's coming out in Infinite Forbidden, if you don't have access, you're not playing a strategy that has access to that, the Moon of the Closed Heaven helps you get there. It helps you get to the Requiem. If you don't have access to Requiem, then definitely play this card because it enables other strategies to really be able to play this engine. Now, you use that by using, of course, 2 effect monsters, link summon into the Requiem by using the Moon of the Closed Heaven. Then you go and activate the Requiem by tripping itself. You summon the Engraver from deck, and then you link summon the FIENDSMITH Sequencia by using the last remaining monster, and of course the Engraver. Activate Sequencia to fusion summon the FIENDSMITH Lacrimora. Then, of course, what you do is you shuffle the Requiem and the Moon of the Closed Heaven from the graveyard to the extra deck. Activate Lacrimora to special summon the FIENDSMITH Engraver from your graveyard. Then you XYZ summon a rank 6, and like I said, you can go for the Beatrice or you can go for the DDD High King Wave Caesar. It's up to you or any other target that you feel is more suitable for your strategy. But this combo sequence is kind of broken, and of course I had to do a guide of how you can beat it down because we're gonna be seeing a lot of this until there's a ban list, like several ban lists, because they're not gonna hit this engine for a long time, just so you know. But let's go into the engine counters right now, and of course, if you don't see any that you would use for the strategy, let me know down below in the comment section. So of course, guys, hand traps that you want to use against the deck. Ash Blossom is an insane hand trap to use against them. You want to hit the Engraver, the 1-card combo at the start, just nip that in the bud. Same thing with the Tractus. If they start off and they use Tractus, you want to stop that because they'll add something like the Fabled Lurie and then discard it. And Lurie's effect is when it's discarded, you summon it on field. So they'll have the free body already. You want to just stop that, nip that in the bud immediately. Now for Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, you want to use it against the Lacrimosa effect to summon something back from the graveyard to field. You can instantly just stop that. They do have the option to add to hand, but if not, definitely use this against them. You can use Infinite Impermanence to stop the Sequencia to stop the fusion summoning altogether, which is a pretty good hit. And you have Ghost, Ogre, and Snow Rabbit to hit the Sequencia for its effect on field. It's not a, when it's link summoned effect, they have to activate it. So you can definitely just go ahead and use Ghost, Ogre, and Snow Rabbit against them. Now going to some further hand traps, of course, we have Droll and Lockbird. And personally, I don't think that they can go away from Droll and Lockbird unless they have a really broken hand. Because remember, this is an engine and they're combining with another deck. Like you can play this with Snake Eyes, Yubel. So at the end of the day, if they don't have other pieces, they can't really go further into what they're trying to do. So if you Droll and Lockbird them immediately after the Engraver effect, they're pretty much in a bad spot, I would say. Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. This is pretty good against any of the FIENDSMITH monsters. I would kind of really go against the, using against the Requiem, which you actually really can't do that because they trip you it. But the Sequencia is a pretty good hit. Lacrimosa as well. You want to use it against cards like that. For the Alley of Justice Cycle Reader, yes, it's kind of actually back. You can use it against the FIENDSMITH monsters or even the Light Fiend target. So keep that in mind as well. It's really good against them. And Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, pretty good against any of the extra deck monsters. So if you're not playing the engine in this format, you may want to consider Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries because you can easily just have it on your side and play whatever one you think is more important. I would actually say Requiem, or if you want to just really nip in the bud, Sequencia as well is a really good hit because then they can't fusion summon unless they're playing, I believe, the trap, right? So really good hit, I think, in my opinion. But moving on to some further cards, No Grave. So as long as they don't hit, have the Fiendsmith monsters go into grave, you're pretty much good for the most part, because Lacrimosa can bring back something from the banishment, but I don't even think they would get to that point if you hit them really early, right? So Dimensional Shifter, of course, just activate that. Playing something like Ritual Beast, you can easily do that. You have Dimensional Fissure as well as a very good hit with the Macrocosmos. That's more of a turn, one setup. And then Abyss Dweller is pretty good. So out of this list, I'd say more applicable to your strategy, it could be Abyss Dweller or even Dimensional Shifter. So consider doing that because it is very important against this engine. And then going on to our next one, we have excellent counters. So more hand traps and just more general stuff to go into. Effect Failure is very good against them in their main phase. Against the Fiendsmith monsters, like I said, just say no to their effects. Dimensional Barrier is great because you could say no fusions, and then there we go. DD Crow is pretty good against the Fiendsmith monsters, plus the Light Fiend target as well. They won't have anything to shuffle back into the deck, which is pretty good. And then something I thought of too, you can bring back is the No Material card that, you just can't use it as a link summon. Sorry, that's it. Move on to something else, right? But it's just really good if they summon the Engraver effect, they're going from the Engraver to the Link 1, or they're summoning the Link Fiend target, which, of course, there are different ways that you can, of course, get there, but Fabled Lure is one, or you can use something like the Sinister Necrome, which is an evil hero, and if it's engraved, you banish it and summon the Adusted Gold from your deck to field, and that actually doesn't lock you at all as well. So that's another thing that I guess you are playing the engine, but we're trying to counter it, okay? So, but anyway, I want to go into real quick, should you play these cards? And let me know down below, of course, what you guys think. So first up is Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. Is it a good card against them? Personally, I would say no, only because you're kind of like, yes, you are hand shuffling, your cards in your hand, getting a better hand, but you might see another hand trap, I'm not gonna lie. But I think a better use of this slot would be anything that I mentioned before. Going into the Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. It's a good trap card, don't get me wrong, but they can easily make an Appaloosa after they're done with their engine and then go into like their, Yubel plays or Snake Eyes plays, whatever engine that they're playing with that, of course. So I don't think it's the best, but it's a generally good card against the meta too, so keep that in mind. And then you have Nibiru. I think Nibiru is an insane card against them because immediately you can just get rid of what they're trying to do for the Fiendsmith part. But remember, they're playing with another engine that's also probably a 1-card, starter or 2-card starter. So it's like, should I use it now? Which you most likely should, because if they make, like something like Appaloosa, you can't really activate it now. So consider that. And then of course we have Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. You could be just gaining life for days. So think about it like more of like a game 3 thing going into time. It's a very, very good hand trap, okay? But these are the ones I chose, and of course, let me know down below what you guys think as well. I can't wait to hear your comments. But guys, that's it. That's it for the how to counter Fiendsmith coming from the OCG to the TCG. Remember, it's going to be insane. And of course, how many times did I say Fiendsmith in this video? But guys, seriously, I hope you enjoyed the video. I love making videos like this. And what other how to counter blank should I make? Let me know down below, of course. But if you guys liked the video, make sure to give it a huge like, comment down below your thoughts on everything that we kind of pretty much summed up. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you're updated the moment I upload new videos. But guys, that's it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.